I'll go to my next point, because a lot of David Copperfield's older tricks have been explained. There's YouTube videos that show them like that. Is that something that you're ever concerned with?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, especially with what I do.
Yeah, because
like,
what you do
I
is
just told you how hypnosis works.
Yeah.
Confidence, rapport, and trust. And you could watch like a 3-hour workshop explaining that and learning how to, and you can still be hypnotized. So it's very different with what I do.
It's a trick, but the trick is psychology.
Yeah,
the trick
it's like learning
science.
how the brain works in human nature. But just because you understand how you work, it doesn't mean it's not going to work on you, because that's our wiring. You know, that's why we're able to watch a movie and we know it's not real, but suddenly we're having this real emotional reaction inside of us, and we're like crying when, you know, Old Yeller dies or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Whatever happens, you know, because like for that moment in time, we're allowing that to become our reality, and it's making us feel real things and having real reactions and responses inside of our body. But our body doesn't actually know the difference between a real experience and imagined experience. So
this is the reason why so many people have a problem with pornography.
Yeah.
And this is also a reason why a lot of women have issues with dating apps. The dating apps, they start to believe that these guys they're rejecting are actually better than, and men start watching pornography and they start believing they would have access to these women. They can't
Porn
separate
has a lot of
the experiences.
issues for the brain, for humans too, also because of like the dopamine it releases. And like dopamine is meant to be released when effort is exerted. And so when we separate effort from dopamine, we get like pleasure for free, then it kind of zaps our enthusiasm about doing anything else difficult in life. So that's like one of the many problems with porn, but it also steals your creativity, because I equate dopamine with creativity, curiosity. You know, that's a very long conversation, but yeah, it's our brain doesn't know that that's like not really happening in front of us. So it thinks you're like sitting in the corner watching two people have sex, which is not a very empowering position to be in.
And there's no effort.
It's damaging in a lot of ways. You know, if we get back to like the person who's thinking about something that happened to them 20 years ago, to use an example most people can relate to, your body doesn't know that that's not happening right now. Your body thinks that all of that trauma is occurring and you're experiencing all of the physical sensations in your body, the fight or flight, all of it, as if it's happening right now. Many times worse than the original experience, because over time we write stories. Like memory requires like changing memories. So like each time we remember something, it's not exact, and sometimes it gets worse, especially if we play the victim in our life, you know? So yeah, our brain doesn't know that those things aren't happening. And so if we can invest all of that time thinking about the past and feeling it as if it's occurring now in our body, then what if we took a little bit of that energy and we spent it thinking about the future? Like what if we lived in that for a moment and allowed like a thought about what a future might look like, and our body doesn't know the difference, right? So show it what that feels like. Show it what it feels like to, you know, if your dream is to have a podcast, to be sitting in that room and having a conversation with someone you find really interesting. That's hypnosis. It's all connected.
Yes, that makes sense.